I was gonna do a whole preview for this game like I have the last few times that I was hosting solo, but honestly, I don't know half the guys who are playing for New Orleans, so I didn't even bother looking into it. I was gonna try and pull up their cleaning the glass stats and all that, and I'm like, it's not even eight or nine of their guys are out. It's just not even worth it. Yeah, their schedule is easing up big time from a density standpoint. We have a story on Fear the Sword actually where that we graphed out. I can see if I can put a link in the chat so you can see it, where we graphed out the density of their schedule, and like, man, they are like they played so many freaking games to start this year, and the rest of the year it's going to be a more normal season for us. But every team has their stretch where they have to play a bunch of games all in a row. The Cavs thankfully won 15 of them in a row. That helps a lot. They got out to a big jump start on the rest of the league here. Uh, Even just looking at the Eastern Conference before this game officially starts, Cavs have 15 wins, Boston has 12. After that, no other team has 10 wins yet. So I feel pretty comfortable, barring a complete collapse, that the Cavs are going to finish top two in the conference. And they got a nice little head start on Boston. But yeah, so Jalen Tyson added to the starting lineup tonight. They were going Niang for a while. Like, it was reported Niang was going to be the starter. Kenny had a last second change of heart. Nice put back there. This would be a good game just to let Mobley dominate. Like, just let him experiment, go off. Not to disrespect the Pelicans, but I think top priority would just be letting Mobley get a bunch of reps and just have a big game. Here he comes bringing up the ball. It's like, I don't even know who that is guarding him, but yeah, can't guard him. Nice putback from Jalen Tyson. The rookie compared himself to who did he compare himself to? Josh Hart, right? Yeah, he said he wants to be like Josh Hart and Caleb Martin, I believe. That wins me over. I would love to have that on the team. So I thought that they were going to give Tyson some more minutes against Boston. He didn't play at all. I thought that maybe he would get an opportunity. I guess since he hasn't played any meaningful minutes yet in the NBA, it would have been kind of unfair to throw the rookie out there against the reigning champs with the streak on the line in the NBA Cup. But good defense from Allen right there. I would have liked to see him out there because he was one of the only available guys on the roster who is like kind of a wing. Like, that Sam Merrill starting at small forward. I didn't really love the Merrill minutes last night. It's not that he was bad. It's just that's a tough matchup for him. But we'll talk about Boston throughout this game, I'm sure. Nah. Ty Jerome, of course, in the starting lineup for Garland. Here comes Tyson in the open floor. It's a good look. Ooh, you don't see Ty Jerome miss that very often. I hope we see some Luke Travers tonight too. I believe Kenny said that the two-way guys are going to play. So JT Thor and Luke Travers are going to play. Amani Bates obviously still injured. Mobley 3? Nope. See, the thing about games like this, basically everyone on the Pelicans right now, they're playing with nothing to lose. Like, this is their shot at getting it out, like, proving themselves, earning a standard contract for some of these guys. It's good to see you too, Jackson. Happy birthday, Corey. Yes, everyone in the chat, happy birthday to Corey. Corey was in attendance for the Celtics game. Unfortunately, didn't go his way. Didn't go any of our way. Yeah, these games are tricky. I mean, you have a huge talent disparity, so obviously the odds are in your favor, but there's some tricky things there. You don't really know who the hell you're playing against. Obviously, these guys are all more incentivized to really get up for this game and try as hard as they possibly can. Whereas for the Cavs, second night of a back to back, You're playing again. You just went from playing the defending champs to, you know, not. I'm not trying to disrespect any of these guys, but just some no names. Like it's a little, it's different. It's true that the Cavs are 0-1 this season when Corey is in attendance. That's rough. They're still undefeated when Okoro plays. So I'm seeing an obvious correlation there. Donovan just did like 100 spin moves in the same possession. Nice. Wow. Mobley pulling out the Euro steps. He's getting good looks, but that time he just got chased down. The other time he just kind of blew it. That was great block. Corey the cooler. I'm gonna let you workshop that one a little more. Come back to us with a better one. Great pocket pass right there. How did you guys, if anyone in the chat, how did you feel about Jared Allen's performance last game? Because Jackson was very low on it. I wasn't necessarily high on it, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think. B level. That's what I gave him in the grades. I'm pretty sure I gave him a B or a B minus. He just kind of wasn't noticeable, which sometimes Allen's like the unsung hero. You don't really notice him, and then all of a sudden it's like 18 points, 15 rebounds. He's protecting the rim, but the other guys get more shine than him. Last night he had a double double, but you just didn't really feel his impact. I felt like part of it is Al Horford. The man just doesn't age. He had a fantastic game against us. Great move from Mitchell right there. A lot of Euro steps to start this game. Mobley's already done it twice. Jerome did it. Mitchell did it. They're just spamming the Euro step. Good defense from the rookie right there. Nice active feet. Stayed in front of his man. That's really the two things that I'm going to be watching for when it comes with Tyson is, like what is his role going to be with this Cavs team right now? They're going to want him to play good defense and he's got to knock down 3-point shots. They're probably, I mean, maybe later in this game they'll let him create a little bit off the dribble, but for the most part, especially in the starting lineup, you got to play good defense and you got to be a catch and shoot threat. Uh, Earlier in the game, he had that putback layup. That's another way for him to make an impact. Be active on the glass, make timely cuts, play well off the ball. That was all the rave in training camp. Is they just kept saying like, man, we haven't seen a guy this young come in and just understand where to be off the ball, when to cut, all this and that. So hopefully we see some of that translate here. Here he comes, 3-pointer. Sometimes I know ball. Every once in a while, the Cavs make me look really good when I speak something into existence. Look at him coming right back down. Oh, all right, picked up a foul, but that's good defense. Jalen Tyson Hive, this is for you. This is for all the summer league fans who have been there since Vegas, believing in the Rook. Good start for him. Weather report on Tyson Island. I'm saying the sun is shining. It's a crisp 60 degrees. I mean, the weather's perfect, is what I'm trying to say. It's early in the game, though, early in the day. I have never been able to do that with a basketball. I played basketball my whole life. Feel like I have a decent handle. Never been able to spin it on my finger. To be fair, I've never tried. It's never been a goal of mine to be able to do it. I've tried, every once in a while, but I've never actually like sat down and decided I'm going to learn how to do it. But yeah, I just can't do it. For the first time since the first week of September. Yeah, I mean, it was a little cloudy. I wouldn't say it was storming. He's a rookie. He hasn't really played any meaningful minutes, so I wouldn't say it was stormy or anything. But the weather was pretty cloudy. Now the sun's coming out. It's heating up a little bit. David Griffin in the house. Always good to see him. Cavs owner Dan Gilbert backing a bid to bring a WNBA team back to Cleveland. I would be a huge fan of that. I would love to see that happen. The only thing that's really held me back from becoming a true WNBA sicko is just having a team to like obsess over and root for. Like I tried to root for the Fever, but they're just not very good. And as much as I like Caitlin Clark, I just wasn't bought into Indiana. But I would watch casually throughout that last season. It was a lot of fun. But if they had a Cleveland team, like I'd be all over it. So I really hope that that ends up happening. Craig Porter last game. See, this is why sometimes I'm glad that I'm going solo right now because I won't have Jackson telling me not to appreciate Craig Porter. I'm just kidding. But man, Craig Porter last night, I think that's the best game he's ever played. I really think that's the best game of his career. I know he had like some really impressive games last year, but just from the fact that the number one thing he has to do is take and make three pointers with confidence, off the dribble specifically because teams just completely started ignoring him last year, and he did that against Boston. They used him as a screener, and he was getting downhill, dunking, making passes. Like he just looked fantastic. So that was great to see. Niang. Niang was also good last night. Mm, clank, clank. Niang's had a very good season though. Me and Jackson were mentioning on the pod that we need to do a whole, maybe not a whole segment, but we need to spend some time giving George Niang his flowers because he took a lot of shit last year. Much of it was, probably deserved. Some of it definitely went too far. You always have the fans who go a little too far, but Niang's having a really good start to the year. Luke Travers season. Jackson, I think you're spoiling stuff. I'm glad that we have players like Tyson and Travers, even JT Thor, to look forward to in a game like this because otherwise it could be really boring. But at least there's some guys to actually get an eye on and see what they're capable of. Niang has been barely front rim a lot this year. It feels like he's been close to getting really hot from outside. Yeah, I mean that's the crazy part is he's had a couple games. He's had some good shooting games this year, but he's also had a couple games where I thought he was really impactful, even without the 3-point shot falling. Like, I think yesterday he was only 1 of 3 from deep, but just felt like he was a good impact player. Yeah, his post up the post up was great. Luke Travers. Jerome just bullying his way to the rim. That's a great take. Ooh, Allen just crushed him with that screen. Nice pass. Luke. Luke in the dunker spot. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Luke Travers will look like on defense because he has some great tools, and that could obviously be an X factor for him if he becomes a legit wing defender. He's an exciting player. He's got so many avenues to being a legit NBA guy. He's got a little bit of playmaking, a little bit of shooting, a little bit of defense. He can rebound. It's just a matter of how good he is at any specific thing. Nice. Nice push by Niang right there. Gets into the paint, drive and kick. Hope you didn't buy real estate on CBJ Island yesterday. I'm afraid the market is burst. I see Jackson. He's been on the floor for like 45 seconds. Okay. Let's hold on a little bit. Don't if you're in line for CBJ stock, don't sell your stock yet. Stay in line, please. I have a lot riding on this. He's that classic Australian player that's an incredible floor game, but is reluctant to shoot. Yeah. If he ever becomes any sort of volume shooter, his ceiling just goes through the roof. Jerome is just good now. There's no qualifiers to make. Yeah, he's been good for a while now. Like I think the Golden State game, this year's Golden State game, when they just torched him, that was the moment for me where I was like, okay, he. This isn't a meme anymore. This isn't a joke. Ty Jerome is a hooper. Like he can just straight up ball. And I kind of saw the vision. I didn't think he was going to necessarily be this good. Um, Look, when you have a guy 6'5", he can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot, he takes care of the ball, he shoots like 40% for his career. I've been surprised by how good he has been getting to the rim. Like that Euro step, his deacceleration, he's been really good right there. Let me pull this up real quick and see his shooting splits because they have to be insane. And I'm sure it's going to come down, but he's been really good to start the year. And I think he's just a good player. High IQ player. Like anytime you have a backup point guard who's gonna take care of the ball, he doesn't turn it over, knows how to play make, knows how to run things, and he's gonna shoot efficiently. Yeah, I mean it's just perfect. Yeah, connectors, connective pieces, they're so important in today's NBA. Like it's almost being able to shoot the three pointer is part of what makes you a connector, but versatility is like the most important thing in today's NBA, even more so than just being a straight up 3 point specialist. Like if you can do a little bit of everything, that's the most valuable role player in today's NBA. So Ty Jerome's shooting 60% on layups and 63% on floaters. he's in the he's in the 87th percentile for floaters right now. Shooting 68% in the paint, that's the 97th percentile. He's like Tony Parker, except way slower. Okay, yeah, he's the second best three-point shooting percentage in the league. That's going to come down. The guy's not going to shoot 54% all year, but he is like a 40% career shooter. So I do have to say one unpopular thing though about yesterday's game. The Tatum push off on Niang, it wasn't that big of a deal. I know Cavs fans were really upset. They wanted the call. They're not going to call that on an all star, borderline superstar. They never called that. We had LeBron for 11 years. The stars get away with the push off, so it didn't really bother me. but I also seem to like Tatum more than the average Cavs fans. Cavs fans really hate Jason Tatum. I just don't think like he just doesn't do anything to make me hate him. He's just a regular player to me. Like Stephen Curry would really piss me off back in the day. Draymond, Clay. Like there's certain players who are just like antagonizers. Jason Tatum's just I don't know. I know people think he's corny, so that's why people hate him, but he's all right to me. I know that's a big red flag probably for me to say that. Ooh, see, Craig has to take one of those shots. I feel like. I mean, it resulted in a decent look, but if they're gonna play, oh, nice. They're gonna play that under on you. Yeah, I just saw that Shams tweet. Melton undergoing season-ending injury. That's a tough break for Golden State. They have been much better than I expected. I was a little bit of a hater. I kind of thought that people were way too high on them this like entering the year, but they look legit. Losing Melton is going to hurt them because the surprising thing is they've been really good on defense, and he's a big part of that. Jared Allen, whoa, huge dunk and one. We love Jared Allen in this house. We stand Jared Allen. People were being mean to him after those two bad games. We're back. Jared Allen has just had some monster plays already this year. The block on Rui, the block on was it Yves Misi? Did he block Misi too? It was someone on the Pelicans. He's just had some incredible plays. Then that dunk. He had a great dunk against oh, and a block right there. He's doing everything. Yeah, the block on Dame. The problem is, Jackson, and I agree with you, but the problem is he wasn't getting daylight like that on the roll yesterday because the Celtics were just completely covering him and Mobley on the roll, and it was Darius Garland time. Like if Darius Garland could have hit a couple floaters, then maybe you would have seen him with some daylight there. But he had mismatches, he had opportunities, but he didn't have like a runway like that to just explode. Like look at the extension, just explodes on him. But I do agree with your general point. The funny thing is they destroyed Boston in the paint yesterday. Like they absolutely murdered them. But it was just the math game. Like Boston just had like 30 more points off of three pointers. Come on, Craig. Make me proud. Prove Jackson wrong. Put him to shame. Mobley, let's go. Confident looking shot for Mobley. Ooh, good finish right there. Luke Travers, getting the ball. Luke Travers looks big. Well, that didn't look very big. He's just got good size, though. Mitchell step back. Nope. Here we go. Last shot. So it wasn't a super eventful opening quarter, but the Cavs got a lead here. Let's see what they do on this last play. Inverted pick and roll. Mobley. Uh, like to see him go up a little. Like he could have tried to dunk that, honestly. But up by 5. Not bad. Keep it up. Don't take your foot off the gas at all. Ty Jerome led him with 7 points. John Michael finished the rest of it for me. The rest of the team has 5 points. The rest of the starters. Luke Travers has 2 off the bench, a +1. Jalen Tyson had a good first stint there. The putback, the corner 3-pointer, played some pretty solid defense. Evan Mobley's 2 for 7 to start off. I'd like to see him just continue to get the ball. Just keep feeding him. Talent advantage will eventually help pull away. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, if you just keep up this pace, they'll win comfortably. So, but yeah, I do think eventually they'll pull away. You'd hope at least. For Peyton, 2 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, triple double watch. Kenny was apologetic pregame for not prioritizing Mobley in the fourth quarter. This game, he seems to be trying to make up for it, and I feel like Mobley is pressing a little too much. Honestly, I'm okay with Mobley pressing, though. I don't disagree, but go let him press. How many games have we been able to say that? Like, dang, Mobley's taking too many shots. He's pressing a little too much. Just let him. Let him cook. Let him be a shot chucker for a game. As long as it still results in a win, like as long as you're not trailing, he needs reps like this. But yeah, the Cavs going away from Mobley in the fourth quarter last night really hurt. He had 22 points in the first 3 quarters, didn't take a shot in the fourth. They tried to get him the ball on one play. Mitchell tried to slip him a pass and it ended in a turnover. And then, and then they just didn't really go back to him. But felt like all of the best things happening last night were when Mobley had the ball. He finished with 22 points and 6 assists. And that's without taking a single shot in the fourth quarter. That's without Garland or Mitchell really setting him up for the entire night. Like it wasn't a game where he was getting a bunch of dump off passes or alley oops. Uh, Basically everything he had was self generated. I went ahead and looked back at a lot of his possessions, and they weren't unassisted. Like technically, Garland like picked up an assist for giving it to him in the post, but it was like Mobley catching it, drop step, score. It wasn't, being spoon fed opportunities. So it's unfortunate that he didn't get more touches last game. Here comes Tyson pushing in transition. Take it. Ooh, okay. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, Niang, another one off the front of the rim. Mobley. Nice recovery. I thought that was a layup. I know Mobley is capable of blocking shots like that, but I definitely thought that was a layup. Wow. Great take from Tyson. That was one of the things that impressed me in summer league was his ability, his body control, and his ability to contort himself at the rim like that. That was a really good take. And Tyson, kind of similar to Travers in the sense that like he could be a connective piece. He's got a lot of skills, a lot of different avenues to succeed in the NBA. That was a goaltend. Yeah, I was thinking after that game yesterday, Kenny Atkinson's job is on the line. I mean, he loses a game, which just isn't like him. Like clearly he's slipping already. If he's losing a game this deep into the season, and then he didn't play his rookie against the defending champs. I don't know. I'm looking at Detroit and I'm thinking maybe we should have held on to JB. JB has them playing good basketball though. In all seriousness, TT, we're getting our first meaningful minutes for a bunch of different guys here tonight. Bang, our first bang of the night. Cavs shooting 5 of 11 from the 3-point line. That was one of their downfalls against Boston, is they just could not get it going from deep. Niang step back. I thought he was letting that fly. Jackson, I think you're very far ahead. Unless I just completely missed the inverted pick and roll. Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second, Mr. Ben J Man. Jalen Tyson. It's time to talk about him. Rookie of the year? No, I'm just kidding. But he's having a really good game. I just gave it to him again. Nice drive. He just threw that ball right to Craig Porter. Nice. Yeah, I would say the talent disparity is coming into play a little bit. Yeah, nice push and transition from Porter. He's got really good playmaking instincts. That was the part of last season that felt the most crushing, is that because teams just started to drop on him and like dare him to score basically, he wasn't able to get into his playmaking bag. Like when he has an advantage and he's able to manipulate the defense, he makes the right read like 9 times out of 10. He's a really, really smart basketball player. It's been a pretty fun start to the game. Like I'm really liking the Tyson minutes. Travers, I mean, he was only out there for a brief stint. He didn't get to do much, but like it's fun checking out these young guys. Craig Porter's playing good, 2 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. That steal was a little Mickey Mouse, but we'll take it. Jalen Tyson, team high, 9 points, 2 rebounds. It's looking good. He's a perfect 4-4. Donovan Mitchell also has 9 points, but he's no Jalen Tyson. Jackson, can we get you on the Snapchat cam? Yeah, I mean, Tyson just has a knack for seeking out the ball on those putbacks. His cuts, they've all been really good. Obviously, we'll have to see what better teams do against him. But yeah, good start. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. Ooh, yeah. Look at this lineup. We got Travers, Ty Jerome, Jalen Tyson, Tristan Thompson, and Donovan Mitchell. Let's see how these minutes play out. Tyson fighting through a screen. He's very strong for a rookie. I know he's a little older, but like a lot of times rookies come in very slim. Like he's got a strong frame. Switching out on top here. Pretty good defense. I mean, he gave up middle of the floor, but stayed with him the whole way. Look at him fighting for another offensive rebound. He generates 3 points. He's got a nose for the ball. I mean, I was so happy when he compared himself to Josh Hart because that's exactly the type of impact that he could bring to the floor. Plays like that just demoralize the team. Cavs fans know all too well how Josh Hart can just rip your heart out. No pun intended. No tomato from Dan, but he did hit me with the badumch. It was honestly an accident. Didn't even mean to. Thank you for not throwing a tomato at me this time. No rim protector in this lineup. No offense to TT. A little past his prime. Ah, point TT. You know what? They should have let him cook. Inverted pick and roll with Tristan Thompson. Ooh, I didn't like that from Travers. A little too far behind the basket. And I mean, at that point, he probably should have just shot it. But you know, it happens. Better positioning next time. Won't get stuck behind the backboard. Ty Jerome, the dude can play. Good contest from Travers right there. Oh, that was a good vertical contest, though. I don't think Mitchell touched the ball in that lineup. Now he's on the bench. Who did they put in here? Porter. This is a crazy lineup. This is wild. Second best lineup Tristan Thompson has ever played with. He had LeBron, he had Kyrie, but he's got Luke Travers and Ty Jerome next to him now. Jerome step back, buried it. We already said it, but it's not even funny anymore. The dude is just straight up good. Like he should really be in the 6 man of the year running. I forget what I was listening to, but someone said Peyton Pritchard is like running away with the award, and Peyton Pritchard's been really good, but I wouldn't say he's running away with it. There's two guys in Cleveland who are legitimately should be in the conversation, and that's not even thinking of the rest of the NBA. And Jerome is, he started tonight, so I guess that changes the conversation. But he has been instant impact. Tristan Thompson has been calling him the microwave, which I said I don't love that nickname because it's too broad. You can't like microwave scorer, microwave players. That's too general. That's been a thing for too long. You got to come up with something better for Ty. I like the typhoon that people were saying, a typhoon incoming, but I don't know if that's a good nickname either. I don't know if it's good enough. Yeah, no one's running away with any award in November. Like that's silly. Except Ty Jerome did run away with MVP of September, October, and he's on his way to the MVP of November as well. Pretty good defense from Tristan right there. All right, Travers. They've had Travers a lot in the dunker spot, which is interesting. Now he's spaced to the corner. Blew it. So I'm pretty sure this lineup is winning their minutes, but like only by 1 point, I think, or maybe they're just breaking even. I didn't make note of the score when they checked in. Tristan Thompson, he can still rebound. He can still clean the glass. Mm. Still waiting on the second bang. It's time for the rebrand. Who am I rebranding? I'm pivoting from Porter and going to Tyson Island. I've already been on Tyson Island. That's the problem that you pointed out with me is that I'm kind of on every island, but I don't see any rule that says I can't be a supporter of Tyson and Porter and Jerome. Ditch this whole CPG thing. I was pretty right with my Ty Jerome takes, but again, when you're high on everybody, you're gonna get a couple things right. I do regret not being more assertive on my Ty Jerome take because I mentioned at the start of the year, I said I think he could kind of replicate some of what Ricky Rubio gave us. I didn't say he'd be Ricky Rubio. I said he'd be like Diet Walmart brand. And people, weren't very happy. Obviously, Ricky Rubio's incredible, so I would never want to disparage him. But I said Ty Jerome could maybe do a little bit of it, and people, they weren't very happy with it, and I kind of walked it back a little bit and talked myself out of it. And now the dude is playing like Ricky Rubio. I still think Rubio was better. I saw a couple people mentioning that on Twitter that Ty Jerome's playing better than Rubio did. I don't agree with that, but Ty Jerome's been really good. Scoring wise, yeah. And he's had like that Golden State game, the pull up three from like 30 feet was great. I just think about Ricky Rubio hitting like 7 straight threes against New York. I think of all the behind the back passes, that just the way that he would rally this team. Obviously, Ty Jerome is doing it to a degree too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased, but Rubio was just too much fun. Ty Jerome has been a lot of fun too. So it's really it's not to knock either person. But to clarify, Jackson, I will not ditch CPJ. Can't do it. Rubio, yeah, Rubio was great on defense. Ty Jerome has had some pick sixes here that were a lot of fun. He hasn't had one in a little while, but man, 2021 Ricky Rubio, what a time! That dude was so much fun. All right, I'm back. Don't know what happened there. I missed something. I missed a second bang. Ty Jerome, I'm back for that. I saw that one. Do we have a Cavalanche in the making? Maybe a little mini one? Not in the third quarter, but I might have to spend more energy on building up Ty Jerome Island, huh? I don't even think I need to do anything, honestly. I don't even think I need to spend any energy. I think he's doing it himself. Stocks are going through the roof. We're going to the moon. He's got 21 points. If we get a Ty Jerome 40 ball, that would make my entire year. So you put Ty Jerome in Cleveland with a long injury report, and the guy just goes crazy. So his career high is 24 points. He's already got 21 in the first half. Yeah, I own all the property. Okay. There's really very few players who I'm not totally bought in on. I would say I'm not totally bought in on Luke Travers or Amani Bates, but I still think they have a lot of potential. I'm still not really bought in on George Niang, despite the fact that I think he's playing well. Karis LeVert, I'm back in on. I'm like, I'm tentative on him. He's been great to start the year, but I was out on him start. Whoa, Ty Jerome's pulling up from 30. Oh my God. This is nuts. This is insane. Oh yeah, I still have plenty of property on Aquaro Island. I'm not getting off Aquaro Island. You will never get me to leave Aquaro Island. Wow, that was a nice lob. Hydrom's about to build a second island for himself. Get out of here. Get out of here. What the hell is going on? What is going on? Ty Jerome was watching Dalton Connect last night and said, I can do that. If he hits another one, Jackson, I'm at 35 seconds. No, stop. Okay, I was about to say that there's got to be a limit to this. This has been a lot of fun. The Ty Jerome special. Like, he's always been an efficient shooter, but I don't think he was pulling up from, like, 28 feet the way he has been in Cleveland. That's a new development. Unless there's any long-term Jerome watchers out there that can correct me, I don't think he was doing that. Driving kick. Ooh, Niang let us down. It's alright, though. We had a Jerome Cavalanche. I'm just tweeting out this, Ty Jerome clip, and then we gotta talk about the man of the hour because that was just unbelievable. That was a typhoon. That wasn't a Cavalanche, that was a typhoon just hit New Orleans. Man, Jalen Tyson was good too, but Ty Jerome just stole the show from everybody. 27 points in the first half. I mean, it's just crazy. That was a heat check. Yeah, that's gonna be a heat check on the YouTube comps, I hope. We gotta make one. We gotta find out who started Typhoon. Someone in our, Junkyard Pod group chat sent that in there. I don't know if they created it. 27 points in the first half, but previously his career high was 24. Like, that's just wild. He's shooting 7 to 10 from the three-point line. I wonder if I can find, like, how far away, like, I'm sure somewhere has the stats for how far away Jerome was hitting his threes before this season, like, what range he was hitting. Let me see if I can find that. Because I swear he was not pulling up from this deep. He would take and make three-pointers, but I don't know if he was ever doing stuff like this. Maybe I'm way wrong, so I wanna find out. We need a Ty Jerome 50 piece. After losing a game, like, come on, we deserve, a little reward, right? I did give you Ty Jerome in the player grades. That was my bad. I want him back. No, I'm just kidding. You can have him. Uh, honestly, I was just kind of tired of writing about him because I just kept saying the same thing. I'm like, he's good. He's actually really good, guys. He makes an impact every game. And I was kind of just expecting another good game from him. Wasn't expecting him to drop a nuke. Didn't expect an incoming 50 piece. So you're welcome, Jackson. Jackson, if you don't give him an A plus plus, I don't know if you've been using that grading scale. I've given someone an A plus plus this season already. I don't remember who. Probably Mobley, but he deserves an A plus plus. In fact, I think everyone in this chat is going to storm the Fear This Word comments if Ty Jerome has less than an A plus plus. Still have a whole second half of basketball. The S grade, that could be a thing. Jackson, you're the editor in chief, so you get to decide. What's the highest possible grade someone can get? Because Ty Jerome is getting it. Okay, so I found some Ty Jerome shooting stats here. This season, he's already hit 13 3-pointers that were 25 to 29 feet. His last healthy season when he played how many games for Golden State? 45 games. Played 45 games in Golden State. He hit 22 threes from that range. So he's already hit 13 of them in 16 games. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that's not even counting however many he's hit tonight. I don't think NBA.com updates that fast. Maybe they do. But yeah, S is higher than an A, by the way. S is like S tier. That's the best tier. Not sure what it stands for. Does it just stand for super, superb, super? I don't know. But yeah, Ty Jerome is S tier. I think they would probably know. I don't know what our age demographic is, but it's just commonly used for like tier lists, which Jackson famously hates. Actually, we had a discussion. We had a discussion with. Wait, you can't hear me. Can anybody else hear me? Oh well, Jackson's at the game, so he probably doesn't have. Okay. Uh, see, Jackson, now I have to pull up the chat on my other computer because this keyboard doesn't work. Can't even hear me. That he doesn't even hear my complaints. But yeah, we talked about on the pod. I pitched that I wanted to do more tier lists, like Eastern Conference tier list, player tier list, stuff like that. And Jackson shot it down. He's not a fan. He doesn't like the tier lists. He thinks they're silly. Uh, I want to do more tier lists. Mediocre games compared to this. I mean, everything is mediocre compared to a Ty Jerome masterpiece. I expect the next NBA top 10 plays to just be 10 Ty Jerome highlights. I think the Lakers NBA Cup court might be my least favorite. It's like two different shades of yellow. It just looked really ugly. I don't know though. I'm kind of an NBA Cup hater. The courts, at least. I like the NBA Cup. I think the courts are better than last year for what it's worth. And I don't hate that court right there. The Dallas court. The gray isn't too bad. Ooh, that was a nice block. I didn't see that play. I did see this play. This that was crazy. This Keldon Johnson dunk. I remember Cavs fans sick that we didn't end up with him. We got Dylan Windler instead. That is an island that I stayed on until far too late. Fun fact, Dylan Windler holds the G League record for most rebounds in a game. I really thought he was going to be something, man. He's tall. He can shoot the three. Theoretical Dylan Windler. I still think about it. He was like just the perfect build for today's NBA. It seemed like I'm still in. Shit, so am I. Give him a couple years out of the league to get healthy. Comes back. I think he's like 28 years old already. He's like super old, but I still believe that one hurt. Seeing Windler turn into a stinker really hurt. Yeah, it never felt like he had. I mean, he got injured all the time, but it never felt like he was really in the rotation enough. The G League rebound record cannot mean nothing. That's what I'm saying. You can grab like 28 rebounds in the G League, put him in the NBA. He was with the Lakers for a little bit last year, and I was kind of excited. I was like, man, if there's anybody that can unlock Dylan Windler, it's LeBron. You give him a white movement shooter. Look at Dalton Connect. Look at Austin Reeves. I mean, Austin Reeves isn't necessarily like a 3-point shooter all like that. He can shoot it, but like LeBron just manages to get the most out of these guys. Kyle Korver. I mean, I really thought it was going to happen. Unfortunately, not even LeBron James could save Dylan Windler. Yeah, LeBron needs his cold white boy. It's always been a thing. He got the most out of Delhi. Put Luke Travers on the Lakers and see what happens. I can't believe Mobley missed that layup. It turned into a putback for Jalen Tyson, so it was good for the agenda. But yeah, then Ty Jerome just decides he's going to completely take over. Can we get a Ty Jerome 40 piece? I know he's on pace for 50, but can he legitimately give us 40? I'd be very happy with that. Dude, that was a tough three-pointer. I guess to be fair, LeBron gets the most out of everybody. So like, it doesn't really matter who you are. He just finds a way to make you better. The YouTube chat, very late to some of these. Sorry about that. Darius Garland's out with a groin injury. It sounds like he actually does have a mild injury, but I also was expecting like at least someone to get a rest night tonight. So Garland's out. Also, yeah, what doesn't Jackson think is silly? Jackson's just a professional hater, man. Just a professional hater. And I respect it. I think the yin and yang, my positivity, his negativity, it works. But yeah, the tier lists are silly, but they get clicks, as someone on YouTube says. So, and they're fun. They're just a fun way to talk about a lot of things in a rapid fire fashion. Like we don't talk about other NBA teams very often or other players outside of the Cavs. So I just think that, the tier list, they're fun. Get you talking about the Cavs in a different perspective. We'll have to record some without Jackson. We'll just do it without him. The Jeroman Empire. That's good. That's good. I wish I would have saw that live when you said it. The Jeroman Empire. Mm. I think that's Tyson's third foul. No, I think maybe it was only a second foul, unless ESPN hasn't updated. Here's taking up the ball. And he gave it up pretty quick, but nice move. Yeah, I was surprised that that play wasn't at least reviewed. I don't know if it's a flagrant. It seemed unnecessary to me. So, I mean that kind of meets the criteria there for a flagrant one, but the fact that it wasn't even looked at, especially because they took such a long break regardless, like just look at it. You spend 30 minutes on out of bounds plays all the time. It would have completely changed the game if it was. They would have had a free throw on the ball back. And I think they were down 4 or 5. So it's unfortunate. That game was rough. The Cavs did not play their best up until like the third quarter. Celtics played their best. I mean, whoa, that was a nice rebound right there. Extension. Oh, way off on the three. All right, come on, avoid the Halliburton highlight. Allen is a monster. I don't know if you guys saw that play of Halliburton attempting back-to-back threes, and they were both just way off. He's having a really rough start to the year relative to what we expected from him. But yeah, that Boston game, man, it's encouraging that they only lost by 3, considering how good Boston played and how bad we played. But you still just kind of leave feeling like, dang, we could have had that one. Allen, another board. Good finish from Tyson. Allen stat padding. Yeah, Hallie has those weird home road splits. It's kind of reminding me of like what Garland went through last year. Um, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes with these young players, like they take a big step forward and then they take a step back. So I'm not really worried about Halliburton long term, but it is just kind of funny seeing it happen to another young guard. Yeah, I'm pretty relieved we don't have to play Buddy Hield 4 times a year anymore. I don't know what it was about him, but he just always found a way to get open against us. He'd make us pay every time. He didn't play great when the Cavs played the Warriors, but yeah, Buddy Hield, certified Cavs killer. Evan Fournier is another guy who would always kill the Cavs for whatever reason. Emmanuel quickly was a Cavs killer for a while there, and I feel like the playoffs, even though New York punked us, quickly didn't play good, and I feel like he hasn't. I don't. Did he kill us last year at all with Toronto? I don't remember, but he used to be one of those guys. When Buddy gets under 10 points, the Warriors lose most of their games. Yeah, I've been surprised. I said this earlier, but I've been surprised how good Golden State has been. I didn't really expect them to be uh, like they're. Oh, let me check the standings real quick. I expected them to be a play-in team, to be honest with you. They're first. They're first in the West right now. So obviously it's November, but they've been really good. And I've been surprised how much of a help Buddy Hield has been. He's a very good player. The thing with him is that he just hasn't really been on many winning teams. And Draymond, yeah, Draymond is just like knocking down every 3-pointer. He's had 5 games in a row, I think, of 2 or more 3-pointers, which is his career high. So Draymond having a bit of a bounce back year. Steph's doing good. The defense is playing really well. Buddy Hield's been a positive impact player. I'm here for the Jared Allen stat padding, by the way. I'm all here for it. But yeah, with the Warriors, the thing with them is that I just don't know how much you're going to be able to rely on Buddy once the playoffs start because he's basically been unplayable in big games like that. So don't think their ceiling is anywhere near as high as like OKC or even. I mean, Denver is kind of a train wreck, but Jokic is just so damn good. I don't know if I would take them over OKC or Denver. Yeah, they're like who is guarding Jokic if it's a Warriors Nuggets matchup? I like Kevon Looney, but I mean, the guy's gonna need some help. Oh, Tyson could have shot that. Yeah. Oh, all right, Allen. More easy buckets. Let's go. Yeah, this one turned into the Cavs' favor pretty quickly. I mean, we can thank Ty Jerome for that, but Mobley just ate that alive. And then the reward is you get to get destroyed by Allen. Rare miss for Ty Jerome. Allen just going crazy now. You will never make me hate the two big lineup. When you just have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley beating teams up like this, so much fun. See, I like that drive from Mobley because clearly they were trying to stop him from getting baseline. And in the past, I think he would have picked up his dribble, put his back to the basket, tried to pass it out. But this year, he's just been putting his head down and going through people. Uh, like his defender wasn't very big right there, but still, I mean, even guards were able to wall him off last year. He just puts his head down, gets all the way to the baseline, beats him, draws 2 free throws. It's good stuff for Mobley. He's done that a couple times this year. Yeah, I do think Tyson has passed up a couple shots. He passed up a look in the paint. He's even passed up a couple like decent looking 3-point attempts. But it's understandable. It's the first time he's really played any meaningful minutes in the NBA. Seems to just be trying to fill his role, get a feel for things. So I'm really happy with the way he's playing overall. I'd like to see he could be a little more aggressive, even bringing the ball up the floor at times. He's dribbled up to the 3-point line and then stopped and looked for someone else. It's understandable, but that's definitely an area where watching film, looking back, if he gets out there again, he wants him to be a little more aggressive there. Yeah, they they just put the clamps on. I mean, Allen and Mobley both had a block on that same possession a few minutes ago. They're just shutting off the paint. New Orleans can't hit anything, and they have their rookie trying to post up Allen. Oh, that was a little awkward. Good take. Hey, I'm not hating. I like him. I like the rook, but yeah, the Cavs, the defense is really starting to show. Ty Jerome quiet to start this half. I've liked the way Tyson's played on defense. Stops the drive there, forces a difficult pull up. All right, here we go. Tie time. Okay, so I'm on Twitter and the Chase Down Pod. Someone just quote tweeted a video from the Chase Down Pod from 2023. They discovered Ty Jerome's nickname on Basketball Reference is Milk. So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not calling him that. I'm just not doing it. We're calling him the Typhoon, the Jeroman Empire. We're not calling him Milk. Not in this chat. Go to the Chase Down if you want to call him that. But in the Fear the Sword playback, we're not referring to him as that name. The triple bang. I'm telling you, man, George Niang, he's playing good. Nice play out of Tyson here too. This was a nice feel good game after last night. Nice bounce back. Thank you, New Orleans, for not playing any of your rotational players. They understood we needed some good vibes again. Is the frog in the arena? That's what I need to know. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the frog walking around after that loss, but it was depressing. It actually has. It feels like it's been a while since they just straight blew out a team. They've been in some close games. Here's the Typhoon tweet if you want to see that. Oh, Oh, there it is. That's cool. I didn't realize it showed like the actual tweet in the chat. I thought I was just going to give you guys a link, but there we go. It's a typhoon. Well, now that I know that it does that, I can share tweets in here more often. That's a cool feature. Go ahead and plug this uh, Chase Down tweet too, since I referenced it. Yeah, Jalen Tyson's perfect 6 of 6. JA is a perfect 6 of 6. Ty Jerome has technically missed a couple shots, but he's perfect, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, this was basically as good of a first start for Tyson as I could have imagined. 13.6 rebounds. I know that he's going against, you know, this isn't the best NBA competition, but these are NBA guys. There's NBA guys out there, you know. So it's honestly a really good way to ease him into things. This is much better than what it probably would have looked like if they put him out there against Boston. Yeah, Brandon Boston's nice. Like the Pelicans do have some real guys out there. Not a lot, but a couple. I think the Pelicans, um, ooh, good block. I think they need to move on with this core. I don't know if that means getting rid of like, are you going the nuclear route and getting rid of Zion? What do you get for Zion is really interesting to me because he's kind of, yeah. I mean, he's a fantastic player, but he's injured all the time. Like that's really interesting to me. What they would get in a package for him. They have all these wings. I'd like a wing. I won't give you Darius and Jarrett. Really, I wouldn't even make a trade at this point if I'm the Cavs, but like they should probably trade someone. Luke Travers, hell yeah. Running the floor, showing off that athleticism. Travers said that he has sneaky athleticism. I think he called it deceptive athleticism. So nice to see him run the floor. Nice. Jalen Tyson, another pick six, maybe. Oh, tough fall. Looks like he's okay, I hope. He's getting up. All right. Blew the dunk. It's all right. I like the aggression from the Rook. Okay, now now it's a little hectic. Now we're getting that summer league ball. Great pass. Maybe go up with that next time, Niang. It's getting a little hectic. Yeah, good timeout. Get things under control here. That was getting that was getting frenetic. That was a filthy pass from Luke. He made it look real easy. Niang robbed him. Should have gone up with it. I like the idea to try and hit Allen there, but should have just gone up. I mean, just run straight to the rim. Good luck from Jalen too. Again, I mean, Tyson, he's just got so many skills. He's got some playmaking to him. I think he's going to be a good 3-point shooter in the NBA. I think he has legit shooting touch. The catch and shoot aspect is what will be the key. That's the thing that we haven't seen much from him. Didn't do it much in college, but he was a pretty great shooter. His form is good. Like, he's a pretty efficient shooter in college. It just looks like he has shooting touch to me. We'll see what the catch and shoot looks like. There's a different shot diet, but I think he's got that. He's got some ability to play make. We saw it in summer league. Tough dude. Tough dude. So I think he can become a good defender. I don't think he has like plus NBA athleticism. Hopefully he's just like an average NBA athlete. Like, we just saw him miss a dunk. Not to, I won't hold it against him, but he's not like an elite NBA athlete. But I think he's got a good enough build to be a good defender. His ceiling, if he can become even better on ball, like, he's a pretty decent finisher, but can he create advantages for himself? Kind of changes things. I think, is this a quadruple bang incoming? Is this a fourth bang? The quad bang. Here we go. I mean, I kind of said earlier that Niang was having good games even when he wasn't hitting 3-pointers, but he's been hitting 3-pointers most games this year. So I really shouldn't even have mentioned that. Look at him getting out for almost got a steal there. Tristan got caught jumping. Tyson. TT doing his thing. Some things never change, man. You put him on the floor, you can guarantee he's going to get a couple offensive rebounds. 25 game suspension aside, he was honestly pretty solid for the Cavs last year. For a guy who was on ESPN just a year and a half ago, he was really solid for the Cavs. The best backup big we've had in a long time. There's a reason why he was really good to start the year, but even afterwards, he wasn't, horrible. Like, we had Robin Lopez for a while. We know what it's like to have a truly unplayable backup big. Another bang? Are they saying another bang? 5 bangs in one night? Ed Davis, yeah. So Niang's poured in 5 threes. Jerome has 7 threes. Feels pretty good. Mamadi Diakite was a backup big who I had some faith in. Nice driving kick from Jalen Tyson. Ooh, Travers left that short. I mean, a 30-point lead. Tristan, NBA champion Tristan Thompson. You're telling me there's a 6th bang incoming? Oh my goodness. 6 bangs. The sextuple bang. He's got what, 3 this quarter? Maybe 4? I feel like the announcers are not hype enough for this George Niang run. Brad and John need to be getting a little more amped. The crowd should be standing up too. What are we doing, Cleveland? This is the meme, the flirting versus sexual harassment meme, where like Ty Jerome hit 7 threes and Jackson's in the chat saying he's the greatest player he's ever seen. George Niang hit 6 threes, and where's Jackson? He's still probably going to give him like a C in the grades. JT Thor, here we go. Listen, the thing with Thor, it's really easy to talk yourself into him. He's tall as hell, he's athletic as hell, and he's got some offensive abilities. He can dribble a little bit, he can shoot a little bit, hit the big three in the Olympics over LeBron. But he's got some offensive game, super athletic, coordinated for a big man. Just really easy to talk yourself into him. Didn't quite work out for him in Charlotte. Uh, Niang getting into it here. We got some pushing. The G Wagon getting into it. Is Jason Tatum a fake tough guy for not getting into George Niang's face? Yeah, I mean that really wasn't much of anything. It looks like he's apologizing to him. Niang was pissed, but it looked like the Pelicans player was like apologizing immediately. So in all honesty, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen probably might not even play the rest of this game. So way to take care of business, get the guys some rest. Second night of a back to back. They've played so many games in such little time to start this year. So it's really nice to get an easy win. Get these young guys an opportunity. Some of them are shining, right? Like, I mean, Jalen Tyson's been really good. So it's great to get them some reps. This is what you want to do. You want to take care of business against a team like New Orleans where they have a bunch of guys out and you're getting a lot of good things out of it, a lot of rewards here. See what they get here on this final play. Oh, turnover. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I would just stick with them the entire fourth. We'll see if maybe Kenny starts the fourth with someone else just to, play an entire quarter is kind of tough for all of them. But the night's pretty much over. Yeah, Craig, he wasn't great tonight. I think I gave Jackson the Craig Porter grades for tonight, so I'll let him sort that one out. I'm just gonna pretend that this game didn't happen and only look at the Boston game for Craig. So I'm telling you, man, they're rigging these deal or no deal games. I don't think we've seen a good result yet. Me and Corey saw a good one, I think against the 76ers, but I don't think anyone's gotten 500. I'm not sure if anyone's gotten above 200. That's a good deal. Moondog has been selling people really short. That's actually a good deal. I would take that. No reason not to take this one. Many people are saying we're back. The Cavs are back. Taking the deal. Oh, you're seeing commercials. All right, we're watching the I'm seeing the deal or no deal game. There was 50 and 200 on the board. Moondog offered him 180, 181. So he took the deal. Good for him too, because he would have got 50. They opened his case. So yeah, Moondog has been like really selling people short for most of the season. So good for him, you know. Takes away $181. Again, I would just like to point out Jackson, completely quiet for the George Niang explosion. He was all in here when Ty Jerome was doing it. If Sam Merrill was hitting threes, he'd be in here. But George Niang does it and he's silent. Just taking notice. All right, yeah, it looks like Kenny will probably just run with this group for the rest of the quarter. Get ready to learn Luke Travers. Antonio Reeves has 26 points off of their bench. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of Antonio Reeves, but he's having a good game. I don't know if Derpy's here, but he's usually on it when it comes to the free French fries. I think they're going to get the free French fries tonight. They have to hit 120. Yeah, shout out to Antonio. We always anyone with the name Tony, even if it's Tony adjacent, shout out to you. Tyson getting his own rebound off of a missed free throw. Stuff like that. That's what we like to see. Good take from JT Thor. With JT Thor, I legitimately would have been okay if they had signed him to like a veteran minimum or like just a standard contract. The fact that they got him on a two-way, I was really excited about. I don't know exactly what he'll end up being, like if he ends up even being a rotational player at any point. Uh, but I was excited to get him. I think there's some untapped potential there. He's still very young. And Lord knows the Cavs need to back up big because I don't know how many more Tristan has in him. JT Thor just turned 22 years old in August. Got a lot of raw potential. I don't know what he had in their most recent G League game, but I know he had like 6 blocks in the game that I went to. He had 4 the first game. It's got a lot of raw potential. Antonio, he's got 32, leading everyone. We all thought the Ty Jerome 40 ball was coming. We're getting an Antonio Reeves 40 ball. Tristan Thompson with the hook, and he's pounding his chest. This is, that's a little shameless, but I'm here for it. This is a man who was defeating the 73-9 Warriors. Now he's out here racking up stats against the Skeleton Crew Pelicans. Look, he's in a rhythm now. Dribble handoff with Thor hitting a three. Honestly impressive. A 7-footer coming up, catching a dribble handoff and pulling a three. Like, that's why it's so easy to talk yourself into him. Rotate, good rotation, good defense. JT Thor. I gotta clip that sequence. That was great. Yeah, he might be a tweener. That's kind of the issue. But if he's a backup big and you're in Cleveland, maybe you can play the four next to Mobley or Allen. The problem is obviously he's not. He's a versatile defender. I don't know if he can keep up at the four. So there's plenty of reasons why it hasn't worked out for him yet in the NBA. I don't want to act like the Cavs just found an amazing player who's just sitting there. Yeah, he's a much less flashy bull. I don't think he tries to do as many crazy things, but Bobo's a weird player. I still don't know what to think of him. I still don't know what to make. I've never been as high on Bobo as some people were. Yeah, he had a month last year where he was just going crazy. I just think he's way too skinny. And the thing is, like, yeah, he can dribble, he can do these fancy passes and like go coast to coast and knock down a couple threes, but he doesn't do any of it he does it good for someone of his height, but he doesn't do it anywhere near like being a genuinely good NBA player. It's just when he does, a between the legs dribble move at half court and then hits a three once every 2 weeks, like a step back three or something. It looks really cool, but it's not something that he does on a nightly basis like Wemby. And he's just like he's unplayable, and most nights he's unplayable. He'll get his highlights, but he never really had the rest of his game polished. I think JT Thor is a little more polished with probably a much lower ceiling, if that makes sense. He's not capable of doing a lot of the stuff that Bull was doing, but he probably has a a higher floor. I haven't watched too many Bulls games, but I think they're doing pretty well this year, right? Like I feel like they're playing everybody pretty close and competitive. I'm trying to pull up the standings here just to verify. They're 6-9. I feel like they played Cleveland very good. Um, so yeah, I wish they would just pick a direction. Is my only thing. Like I think Levine and Vucevic probably should move off of them sooner rather than later. But they're just a solid play-in tournament team, and they've been competitive this year. Milwaukee, yikes! They've turned it around a little bit. They're 5-9 now. I think Philadelphia has the worst vibes in the league, but Milwaukee was there for a while. Patrick Williams, I saw I saw a montage of I think he's missed 7 dunks this season. I think he's missed more. I think he's shooting like a very bad percentage on dunks. Yeah, it's really bad. That's just rough. Yeah, Levine is a really good basketball player, but like he's not taking you. Maybe he could get you a playoff spot, but he's not taking you any further than that. Same thing with Vucevic. So it's kind of like a basketball purgatory situation where personally I would almost like at that point I would just bite the bullet, trade, get some picks, and start rebuilding. I'd rather be really bad for a couple seasons and then have a chance of being good than just being okay forever. Like just being a play-in team for the last however many years. Yeah, Giddy Giddy fits that mold perfectly too. He at least with Giddy, he had like uh he was a legit elite playmaker. When you look at Luke Travers, he doesn't necessarily have an elite skill. He's just very good at a bunch of different things. Giddy at least was elite at that, but bad defender, horrible shooter, horrible vibes. Just not a guy you want on the team. Yeah, Australia's gotta start teaching these guys how to shoot. Matthew Dellavedova entered the league with the most unorthodox jump shot ever. JT Thor, was that a no dip three? I wasn't paying. I was kind of reading the chat. Either way, nice catch and shoot. Very quick release. Kobe Altman, for all the hate that he's gotten, and I've criticized some of the Cavs' lack of moves over the recent years, even though I was never okay, wasn't quite a no dip three, but really great shot. I was never someone who wanted to blow up the core or make any big trades, but Kobe Altman has really sat with this lineup and or with this roster for a long time. But when you look at the fringe moves, everything from even adding Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Craig Porter, who hasn't had the best sophomore season or really the end of his rookie season either, but Kobe's just done a good job finding fringe talent. I mean, you look at JT Thor, Jalen Tyson, Luke Travers, even Amani Bates. I'm not going to say that they're all going to hit. We'd be lucky if one of them really hits, but he's just done a good job of finding really interesting guys. Oh, that, that JT Thor layup, that should have stayed down. Yeah, we all owe Kobe an apology, just a little bit. Some of us, some of us owe him a huge apology. For me, I was never truly, criticizing him. I thought he was doing a mostly fine job. You only fault Altman for one thing. I need to hear this. Free fries, by the way. Let's go. Drummond. Look, yeah, yeah, that was rough. That was rough. I remember when Drummond was on the team, I was writing at King James Gospel for Fansided, and or no, maybe it was Hoops Habit. I think it was Hoops Habit, and I wrote a story that I kind of still stand by, where I basically said Andre Drummond is necessary chaos for this Cavs team because back then they didn't have anything going for them. Some of those games were really tough to watch, and they're not competing for anything anyway. So at least give me a guy who can give you 25 and 20 one night, and then maybe go 1 for 12 the next. Like he was just chaotic, and it at least made the games entertaining. And he did give you like weirdly, he gave you a fighter's chance in some games because he would just be incredible some nights. He cleaned up a lot of possessions. Some of his own possessions he cleaned up multiple times. Very glad that they didn't let the fact that Andre Drummond was on the team distract them from going and getting Jared Allen. That's another thing Kobe did pretty good is that who cares about overlapping talent? Just go get talent. Just go get it. Whatever it is, just go get talent. You drafted Colin Sexton. in 2018? Well, guess what? We're drafting Darius Garland in 2019 because we feel like he's the best player available. It doesn't matter if they're the same position. We're just going to get talent. We're taking Evan Mobley. We're not taking Jalen Suggs. We're not taking Scotty Barnes. We're just getting Evan Mobley. Am I misremembering that? Was Scotty Barnes drafted before Mobley? I don't remember. No. Mobley was third. So I was right. Uh, but yeah, like just get talent. I think Houston is another example of this. I thought the Houston, everything they've done over the last few years was a little questionable, but now look at them. They have so many options. They have some things to figure out, sure, but you just got to get talent in the NBA. The Sexton Truthers have been quiet this year. Yeah, they really have. I had over the summer, because back when Sexton was on the team, I would post clips about Sexton and push the propaganda. And I like Sexton, just to be clear. I still think he's a good player. I always thought he was a good player. But over the summer, I was having tweets from like 2019 get retweeted and quoted by the Sexton truthers saying like, how come, like, look at how good he is. How come they're not playing him? And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, this is 5 years ago, guys. Like, or like, this guy is apparently worse than Darius Garland. I'm like, listen, Darius is more than proven that he was the winner of the Sexton Wars. And also, I just hate even framing it like that. Like, I don't even like framing it like that. They're both good players. Garland's better, but it doesn't mean that Sexton's worse. Like, that doesn't just detract anything from Sexton. The fact that Garland is a very good player doesn't detract anything from Sexton and what he could accomplish. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not like Garland being good means Sexton has to be bad. Um, I'm very happy they stuck with Garland. And I'm someone who I never really picked a side in the Sexton Wars, but I'm someone who I thought Garland was he really struggled his rookie year. Sexton was an absolute bucket. And up until 2021, if you made me pick, I probably would have picked Sexton. But then Garland goes on that, all-star season. By November of that year, I was like, all right, yeah, Garland's incredible. Like this, we have to build around him at this point. And it's just, I don't know, it's just funny. I don't know how you could still be hammering that drum that they messed up, or not even like forget Garland. A lot of the Sexton truthers are still pushing like they messed up trading Sexton for Donovan Mitchell. That's the one where, come on, guys, sometimes you just gotta accept that Donovan Mitchell is a way better player than your favorite player. That's okay if Sexton's your favorite player. Donovan Mitchell's way better than him. Yeah, I mean, Sexton's a really good scorer, but he's a lesser playmaker, like you said. And Darius just has a control of the game that Colin never really did. Like Darius just controls every aspect of the offense for himself and for others when he's rolling. Obviously, like there's games where Darius isn't doing all those things, but Sexton just never really has that type of control. And again, I'm not saying that to take anything away from Sexton. I think he still could have a very promising career ahead of him. I think he's played good in Utah. But yeah, I'm happy with to tie this back to Kobe Altman, very happy with the way he's built this team. Even the trade for Donovan Mitchell itself. Like, really, you're going to put two undersized guards together? That hasn't really worked out long term in the NBA. But he did it because Donovan Mitchell's probably top 15 player. I'm not going to list 15 NBA players, but he's probably in the top 15. Who else in the top 15 were the Cavs going to acquire? Like, where else were they going to get a top 15 or even 20 player? So he just went out and got him. I know people, now that Mitchell's extended, it's a completely irrelevant point, but I know people were really, scared and nervous about going after him. What if he leaves, all that? As a franchise, that's just a loser's mentality. You can't be afraid of going after a player of Donovan Mitchell's caliber because you just already assume that he's not going to re-sign. You have to make a move like that and believe that you can build a culture and an environment where you can retain a superstar. And that's what they did. So it worked out. It paid off. Kobe Altman, he's done a fantastic job. There's little things you can gripe about, but listen, the Cavs are about to be 16-1. I think he's done a good job. The 76ers are on the brink of destruction. That's hilarious. We lacked playmaking when Rubio went down, struggled with shooting. He solved all that. Are we talking about Donovan? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I know George Niang wasn't the best player in the NBA last year, but he was like one of the best available 3-point shooters. And they went out and got him right away. They went out and got Max Struess. They solved Ty Jerome is playing fantastic right now. If he had been available last year, and we can assume that he played anywhere near this level, then he would have filled a big gap on the bench too. Yeah, what did Harden say about Maury? He called him like a liar or something. I forget exactly what he said. Dude, the vibes are just horrendous in Philly. Tyrese Maxey is calling out Joel Embiid for being late to practice, for not showing up. The Levert trade, I'm kind of blanking on. I think I was like just lukewarm on the trade. They kind of had to make a move once Sexton and Rubio went down, and then a couple months ago, I was as low as I've ever been on Levert because I just felt like he was too inconsistent. Uh, and he just like when you made the trade for Levert, you did it because you didn't have anyone else who could dribble the ball other than Darius Garland. And then you end up getting Donovan Mitchell, which kind of solved a lot of that. And then I felt maybe you didn't need Levert anymore. But this year, he's been incredible. I mean, he's a guy, again, I talked about earlier that versatility is like the most important thing in today's NBA. And Karis LeVert is a very versatile player. Plays great defense, shoot the ball, he can pass. Extremely underrated playmaker. He's so good at setting up the bigs. You can never have too much playmaking. Like it's so great to have him out there. People always say like, there's only one ball, so you don't want to have too many ball handlers. I think that's ridiculous. You want everyone on the floor. Like look at the Celtics. If everyone on the floor can dribble the ball, that's a benefit. It's just a benefit. There's never going to be a downside to having someone who can dribble the ball and create for others. So Karis LeVert, he's been very good. All right, the Cavs. They put up 128. They win their 16th game of the young season. No other team has more than 12. Boston has 12 wins. Cavs have 16. So I know they lost a game, so their record is forever blemished. 82 and 0 is off the board, but 81 and 1 is still an option. They could still do it. In all seriousness, we're going to see how the rest of the season unfolds, but they're really shaping up for a prime opportunity to finish with the best record in the NBA. What was Tristan Thompson about to do there? Did you see that? Was he about to throw down a windmill? The camera cut away. Donovan Mitchell keeping the game ball. Is that for who do you think he's saving it for? Ty Jerome, maybe? Career high? The small break, yes. Oh man. It's so nice. It's so nice. They're tired. I'm sure everyone's tired. As much as I love watching them win every other night, I was thinking maybe Tyson too, since is the rookie. Yeah, it's probably Tyson. But yeah, finally more than a day off. Listen, I'm gonna miss all you guys, but it is gonna be nice to have a couple days off. Can watch some movies or something instead of basketball for once. Uh, but yeah, man, these streams have been a ton of fun. Can't thank you all enough for joining and being here in the chat. It makes these so much fun, especially when I'm doing it solo. But even when it's me and Corey, me and Jackson, it's great interacting with you guys and just touching base with the Cavs fans. And hopefully we'll keep racking up these dubs. I'm pretty sure we're undefeated when I stream. So you guys can blame Jackson and Chris last time. I don't know what they were doing over here, but Cavs haven't lost a game when I'm on. So we're going to keep that going. What are we gonna do with no Cavs basketball? Listen, man, you gotta watch some movies. Watch The Penguin on HBO Max or something. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, It's been a great start to the year. Again, thank you everyone for hanging out, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Go Cavs.